Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Welcome to another video. If you are new here, my name is Binta Yahya. I'm a life coach. I'm a Qur'an teacher. I've been doing this for over 10 years. And in this video today, we are going to go over brain dumping, brainstorming, thought work, and how so important it is for us to have a clear mind, to have our goals, big goals in mind, dream big, understanding what we're working towards. And the timing of this is amazing too, because we're about 100 days away from Ramadan. So I'm hoping this video is like a good first step for you to get ready to prepare for Ramadan bi'idhnillah. So the tools that we will discuss here will absolutely, inshallah, be helpful to you to get ready for Ramadan. May Allah grant us Ramadan. So stay tuned and enjoy. And what I want to focus on in the planning process is really the big picture, because this is going to really help you not to waste too much of your time, to remain focused on what is truly important to you. So there is this thing, I'm going to actually draw it here so you to see. So imagine, I heard somebody say this. So there's this man who's climbing this ladder, okay? His whole life, he's climbing this ladder and to reach the top. Okay, so that's the top. That's success according to him. Once he gets here, he realized that he was on the wrong ladder. His whole life, he was climbing a ladder to reach something that actually was not something that was part of his rocks. It was not something that truly, truly mattered to him. And that thing was actually over here. He climbed the wrong ladder. And it's very scary to me. This analogy is very scary to me. And so once I first heard about it, I said, I want to make sure that whatever I'm climbing, whatever effort, energy, time I'm spending is leading me to something that truly matters to me. This is where the rocks play. In my planner, at the beginning of the planner, you will see that there's this this slide here where it's called My Rocks. And so basically what you want to identify in your life is the things that truly, truly, truly matter to you. And then from that point on, you would break down your week, your month, your day, your hour, and you're able to see, okay, how did I spend my day? Was that working towards these rocks? Was I climbing the ladder that was leading me to the top that truly mattered to me? And another example for you, like many of us, if you ask us like, truly, what is the most important thing for you? And a lot of us will say, my kids, let's say my kids, they will say kids. Okay, so that's one of their rocks. Okay, what else? They will say, well, my marriage. Okay, that's another rock. Okay, what else? Oh, my mother. Okay, others will say parents, so mother or parents. Sorry, I'm trying to write in a way that you can read. Other people will say, what is truly, truly important to me is God. Okay, my deen. All right, so these are some of the rocks. Okay, now, when you observe their day to day, let's say, okay, review, observe. So observe. And if you look at this, the first is really brain dump and big picture. Review goals for this year, life wheel. Okay, so this is really the first thing. Like you should have had that already set up. So imagine you had your life wheel is something else that kind of looks like My Rocks. The difference with life wheel is that it doesn't really, they give you usually, family, and they tell you to score, but maybe family is not that important to you. So the rocks is really you identifying the areas that that are truly important to you, right? The areas that you want to climb the ladder for. So here in the analysis area, you are reviewing the gaps and the lessons learned. So now you review your day. Let's say you observed your week, the past week, okay? And it's a good day for that because, it's the end of the week. So you observe the week. You observe the week, and then you realize that there's a gap. There's a huge gap between the week that you observed, the time that you spent, the ladders, the ladder that you were climbing, right? And what is truly important to you. Does that make sense? You realize there's a huge gap between what you were actually doing and where you want to be. There's a problem with that because the results are not in our hands, sisters. The results are not in our hands. But if let's say, for instance, you're trying to read fluently the Quran. Okay, let's take that as an example. And in the week, you did not open your Quran. That week, you did not open the Quran even one day. But your goal and what is truly important to you is to be able to open the Mus'haf and read fluently. You agree with me that those two don't work. They don't work well together. And many times it's because we just don't take that extra time to review and plan. Interrupting here because reviewing is even more important than just acting. Because it's during the review that you're able to analyze the data and say, okay, maybe this, what I'm doing right now, maybe it's counterproductive. Maybe it's not even needed. But if you don't take the time to review and analyze your week and the way you spend your time, you will keep doing things, climbing that ladder, and then realize this is not even the ladder I'm supposed to be on. So reviewing is tremendously important. And, it's one of those boring tasks that you're like, oh, I don't know, I don't need to review. Let me just do. No, take that time once a week if you can. Juma, give yourself some seclusion where you're going to spend time to review your thoughts, your activities, the way you spend your time, get to know a little bit more about you, about your feelings and your emotion, going inward. That time is huge. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was needed for him to be in seclusion before he received prophethood. This is really important for us to do. Take the time to review. So I'm going to share with you a clip of a review that I do. I did a webinar on this, on brain dumping, brainstorming, thought work. So these three are pretty good to do if you're able to do it, once a week. It really is a beautiful way to review and prepare for the upcoming week. But not only that, the upcoming month. And we have about 100 days to Ramadan. So how to prepare for Ramadan, all of that will come if you take some time, slow down a little bit, and give yourself quality time. So once we go over that, I'll share with you a bit more about thought work. Inshallah, I have a little bit of a clip that explains to you how important it is to do thought work. So I usually do these on Fridays. And so in that particular Friday, I did it live with sisters on Telegram. And also I recorded for the membership club. So I'm about to explain or share with you how I explained the three powerful ways that I clear my mind: brain dumping, brainstorming, and thought work. Welcome, Sarah. Okay, so hopefully this is still recording. Brain dumping really is about putting everything that is on your mind on paper. You're not sorting it out. You're not making a difference. You just, anything that comes to your mind. This idea just pop up, you just put it down. Anything that pops up, you don't have to sort it or put it in categories. You just put it down on paper. Brainstorming, however, is like you have something already in mind, like an idea, and you are brainstorming to try to make it happen, basically. So maybe you have an event coming up and you're like, okay, what do I have to do? I have to make, maybe, this is the grocery list. Okay, maybe I have to contact this person. Maybe I have to go to the store and do this. So brainstorming is really like you have something in mind and you're trying to think about how to put it together. And then thought work is even more specific. Thought work means that you are, let's say it's memorization, and you're getting stuck. You're not able to memorize. So thought work will be, okay, a situation is, I'm finding it hard to memorize. Why? What do I make memorization mean? What does it mean to me? Why? What are the things that are preventing me from memorizing? So thought work is really trying to understand what is preventing you. What are some of the deeper reasons within your mind that are blocking you, right? So thought work, usually a coach can really help you well with thought work because it may not be easy to do on your own initially, but once you do it with a coach or someone who's familiar with thought work, then you'll be good. You'll be on your way. So thought work is more about understanding the patterns of what's going on with you. Brainstorming is more about coming up with solution, about an idea. So you have an idea and you're trying to find how to put it together. And then brain dumping is really free flowing. You're just dumping anything that is on your mind. So we're going to start, inshallah. I do this regularly. So I just decided to do it with the membership club and with the sisters in the group because I know that in the membership club in their challenge, they have to do certain things. I was like, oh, this might be helpful to them. And it might be helpful to anybody who joins, inshallah ta'ala. So that is all I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna take about maybe 10 minutes where I'm gonna mute myself and I'm actually going to do my own brain dumping. And feel free to take your piece of paper if you want and then do your own brain dumping. So right now we're doing brain dumping. We're just putting any thought, anything that's on our mind onto paper, or if you don't have paper, on your phone in your notes. And if you're not trying to analyze it, you're just dumping. Okay, so Bismillah. So there you have it. We were doing 45 minutes. I think we were on for 45 minutes. We did about, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes of each. Brain dumping, brainstorming, and thought work. I want to share this next clip with you about thought work because thought work is so clarifying. It's so freeing, actually. That's a huge element of my freedom coaching package, which is a one-on-one coaching for 3 months that I have with clients. And subhanAllah, we do a lot of thought work. So first, you have to first understand how, the thoughts, where do they come from? What do they impact? How are your actions just a reflection of your thoughts? Your emotions, a reflection of your thoughts. So really doing thought work is amazing. So pay attention to this next clip so that you see where and how it impacts you. And so you can start doing thought work right away. And if you need help with this, check the description below for all the programs that I have. See this tree, right? Imagine that your roots are the beliefs of the tree. The thoughts are like the trunk, right? The trunk. And then the emotions are like the leaves, okay? And then the emotion leads to action, right? And those actions, they go back to confirming the beliefs and the thoughts. And so depending on what these beliefs are, if they are not questioned, if they are not taken to court, as I like to say, if they are not reassessed and reprogrammed, you will continuously live in that cycle. Different scenarios, but the same exact reaction, the same exact result, again and again and again, unless you break it. And at the belief level, what I want to remind ourselves as Muslims is that Allah Azza wa Jalla tells us in a hadith that Hadith Qudsi, that He says, I am as my slave thinks I am. So the belief and the thoughts that we have about Allah is going to be huge in how our relationship with Allah is going to be. So this is not just thought work just for the sake of thought work or for dunya. This is doing thought work is actually really powerful for even your relationship with your Lord. And we are told that every action is rewarded based on the intention. Where does the intention lives? In the heart, but then, also in the mind, like in the thoughts, right? In the thought. So you're thinking of doing this for the sake of Allah, and then you do it. You get rewarded for that thought. What is that belief? I want to please my Lord. That's really anchored in you. You want the pleasure of Allah. And so even if the result did not reach it didn't get realized the way you thought about it, you still get rewarded based on the thought. We have in the Qur'an an ayah that I will inshallah post here so you could see it. And this person migrated from Mecca to Medina, died on the way, but still was granted the reward of hijrah because he had the intention and he moved towards it. So this is so important even in marriage and blessed relationships. I discussed this as well, because many times we have conflicts because of this diagram that you see right here. Like we may think, oh, he doesn't understand me, I'm all alone in this. So if you think that you're going to have an emotion of being, sad and upset, and so your action is going to reflect the fact that you're all alone. So what you're going to do probably is distance yourself. He doesn't, see me, understand me. I'm all alone in this situation. And so you're going to withdraw And so that action is just going to confirm the belief that you're alone. And you see how that is not resolving the issue between you and your spouse. So just wanted to share this week. What you want to do, inshallah, is pay attention when you get triggered, because your emotions are actually very powerful feedback. So it's very powerful feedback. So instead of like avoiding your emotions, go into it and say, what is it teaching me? What is that emotion teaching me? And then take the beliefs and the thoughts, take them to court to see if this thought is 100% true. Can you really say 100% that this is the way it is? If not, then expand your perspective and you will find relief in that, bi'idhnillah. So now you have done your brain dumping, your brainstorming. Brainstorming, I didn't talk much about it, but basically what it is, as I mentioned, imagine that you're trying to improve your Quran, your relationship with the Quran. So you're going to brainstorm on all the ways that you can make time for Quran, right? So after you're done with, the brain dumping, brainstorming, and thought work, you're able to go back to your rocks, to the big picture, and to your planning. So if truly you know that, honestly, reading my Quran fluently is actually a goal of mine, is actually something that truly, truly matters to me, and you're emotionally attached to it, then in this case, when you plan your week ahead of time, you will make sure that you spend, even if it's 10 minutes every day, because it's not the quantity, but the fact that you're climbing the right ladder. You spending 10 minutes every day reading your Quran is you climbing that right ladder that will lead you to the result of reading the Quran fluently one day. So even if you just spend 10 minutes every day, the fact is you were climbing the right ladder. But if you're not, if you didn't open the whole week, then you're on a different ladder, different result. This will never lead you to fluency. Does that make sense? Is that, if that is the most important to you, then what is it that you're doing practically, technically in your day-to-day to get closer to Allah, right? All right, so we're gonna wrap up. I just wanted to remind you that I am closing registration November 21st about this marriage coaching that I'm hosting for 6 months. It's called Blessed Relationships, and we do thought work as well, because we want to make sure, like, if marriage is something that is very important, it's one of your rocks, then you need to know, brainstorm about your marriage. What is an ideal marriage? Future self work about marriage, understanding the roles and obligations, understanding the role of mental health in marriage, and how to tackle your triggers, other good stuff that could help us build blessed relationships. So check the description below and join us before we close, bi'idhnillah. I will see you inshallah next week for another video. I ask Allah to make it beneficial to you and to me, and to help us to implement what we learn and what we discuss. Allahumma ameen. Assalamu alaikum.